Welcome back, 2018 NXL Chicago Open. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Paintball legend Chris Asoya, and we are about to watch the semifinals in the professional division. And what a crazy event. We've been saying that, Chris, this entire weekend, because that is just the truth. Right now, the Ironmen are going to be taking on Revo in the semifinals, also with Houston Heat and the Russians. So real quick, Chris, Ironmen Revo, your thoughts?
Man, that's gonna be a great matchup. I think it's gonna be a really back and forth game. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think they're gonna come out a little slower, kind of feel each other out. But Revo's playing really good right now. I think they're playing a little better than the Ironmen. But the Ironmen are Sunday players, man. They're a good experienced team, well depth. So I think that may have a good chance.
Let's get a look here at the top killers for Baltimore Revo. Steven O'Mara up there sitting at the top here. 30 confirmed kills for him. Dan Zaleski right behind him. That's the 1-2 combo here on the Snake side of the field. Dan Zaleski 28, Josh Pike 27. And let's get a look here at the Ironmen and their top killers. Kyle Spica, Snake side dominator, 27 confirmed kills for him. Greg Sewers has been handling business on that D side. Damian Ryan is in there. Trevor Reeser, really one of the big reasons that the Ironmen are in the semifinals with this stellar play in the quarters. And Bobby Aviles also has been super consistent as the three over here. Also Alan Golden getting a couple spins on this side. Let's get a look at Houston Heat. They're going to be playing here in this first point against the Russians. Chad George dominating again. Chad George, so far, probably overall the MVP for 2018 for all teams. 31 confirmed kills for him. Ronnie Dizon on the Snake side, 24. Sam Bombville has been clutch. Konstantin Fedorov, first event coming back from that ankle injury, 22 kills for him. Mishka also statting up in that top 5. Let's get a look at the Russians. Alexander Britnikov, a.k.a. Malloy. He's had some magic out here. He's one of the most entertaining players to watch, but a huge reason that the Russians are in this spot with the miraculous point that he had to keep it close in that last one. Smotrov, though, has been tightening it up nicely. Kirill Peridny, 18 kills for him. He's had some clutch moments as well. Denis Golev and Pavel Karslev filling out the top 5 for the Russians. Looking at the schedule here for Sunday's competition, 2018 Chicago Open. And you can see the battles that went down this morning, and Thunder taking down Extreme. Look at that demolishment that X Factor put up on Impact. However, then X Factor gets knocked out by the Russians. The Ironmen defeat Thunder. Revo over Dynasty, knocking them out. That was an upset, even though Revo is looking good, man. They were undefeated yesterday. In fact, they haven't been beat yet at this tournament. Houston Heat just blanking out and shutting out AC Dallas. A terrible performance from AC Dallas in the quarterfinals. And then, after the conclusion of this semifinal matchup to see how the stage is going to get set for that pro final, we have all the divisional finals, starting with D5 through D4 and 3 and 2, and then the semi-pro X-Ball final. Chris, have you heard whether Aftermath or Mutiny yet is going to...
Aftermath and Mutiny are both playing stellar. I know that Aftermath is definitely in the finals. I spoke to A-Rod earlier from Aftermath. He said we're definitely in the finals, but I don't have any information on Mutiny at this point.
Okay.
I'd assume they're both going head-to-head. I would assume, unless they met each other.
Exactly. I didn't know if they were going to meet each other in the semis or the quarters. But look at this, Houston Heat right now on your screen. No Sergei Solnaiskov. He actually had a collision, and blunt force trauma to his abdomen caused a hernia as he got stabbed by a barrel. So, you know, paintball is relatively safe, but these are the best of the best. They get going pretty fast. As long as you keep those goggles on, everything should be okay. But every now and then something freak happens. On the flip side, you can see the Russians getting ready to go here. And not a lot of love lost, obviously, as you have Konstantin Fedorov in his first event back in that ankle injury. Mishka Kiesnev, he's getting the start. They came up in the Moscow Russian Legion program. And here on the breakout, first point, looks like Ryan Moorhead's going to get to the Snake off the break and get there clean. 5 alive, Chris. Looks like for both squads.
Yeah, 5 alive. It looks like they got bounced going to the corner over here for the Russians. But going inside, you have Ryan Moorhead making that move, backed up by Chad George. So better field position right now for Houston Heat, but also getting the Snake is Malloy.
Yeah, Malloy now trying to talk it up with his teammates as he did get through that lane. But yes, nice aggression here from Ryan Moorhead as he gets inside to the wedge. Chad George following him up as he gets into Snake 2. They're talking it up as well too. So this is a pretty solid point across the board so far. Some nice movement for Heat and some good communication for both squads. And most importantly, both squads still at full strength.
Yep, 5 on 5. You know, it comes down, like we had discussed before, who's going to get that first G. That's going to be where the push is going to come from. That's detrimental to the team that loses that first player, because they usually use a second player right away after that, it seems like.
Yeah, but lots of deaths and bunches over here. I mean, Chris, I feel like we've seen everything on this field.
Absolutely.
We've seen 14-second points. We've seen 8-minute long points. We've seen tons of one-on-ones. We've seen almost everything you can see here on this layout, and we definitely are lucky to have this aggressive of a layout. So 13 minutes and 37 seconds as we're just getting things going, and still these teams at full strength as now Smotroff launches to get to the wedge. The first body to drop, uncharacteristic early death here for Chad George. That leaves just Ryan Moorhead on this side and up close as he is wrapping around and trying to get a shot on Smotroff, and he does, and he owns him. Chris, that was nasty.
That was a great shot.
And he's gonna get a quick 2-pack here.
Yeah, he gets shot by crossfield from that Dorito though, Matty. He took the easy one, which is fine. But now they're, it's still 3-on-3 now, losing 2 bodies, both Chad George and Ryan Moorhead going out for Houston Heat. So 3-on-3 situation.
That was a huge move though, because that evened things up, and then now it looks like Malloy is at the 50-yard line, so he counterpunching after the nice move from Ryan Moorhead. We've seen a lot of that from Ryan Moorhead here in the snake side throughout this event.
And Malloy looking for the move. You see the Russians crossed up on the Dorito side, trying to maintain the field position. And Malloy down here trying to get some work done down the wire. He only has one person ahead of him down the wire on the left-hand side. You can't see in the snake corner, Matty. That's keeping him from going. But Houston kind of in a bad spot right now. I think the Russians have a better field position. And I think Malloy can get to that wedge in the center of your screen, shoot across the field to those Doritos. That's what he needs to do in order to break this game open.
Malloy's searching for it right now here in this 3-on-3 matchup and a longer point because of the blow for blow. Going down here on the snake side of the field. Malloy, though, is playing the aggressor, and he is past the 50-yard line, trying to inch his way up the field to get the crossfield shot here on D2. They don't know where Malloy is, but that is the benefit of this side, is you can get down low. Malloy is a small guy as it is, and he's just staying tight in there and blocking himself out, Chris, in that back corner bunker, using that insert bunker here. Oh, then he just got caught.
He came off that shot you were talking about, Matt. He kept slipping. But taking the far side of the field brick, Matt, is the Russians on the left side of your screen.
Yeah, that's Karslev up there, and he's been the go-to guy, that first attacker all tournament long. Definitely not scared to go. Here comes Dennis Golev as he positions himself to mirror up with San Monville, but a one-body advantage right now for Houston Heat. As you can see there, crossfield, there's Karslev on the right-hand side of your screen, and then here comes hunting is Konstantin Fedorov. Fedorov is trying to get the angle cross field on Karslev, leans over and not able to get the shot yet. Karslev does not know that now he knows exactly where Fedorov is. Fedorov has to fully commit, and he definitely gets the shot on him, but not before Karslev gets the shot on Mishka.
Yeah, but it's 2-on-1 situation. He's in a bad spot. The Russians are in a bad spot, so they go ahead and blow the horn, which is a logical decision. Good point by Houston Heat. Nice slow point, like we talked about, Manny, coming out, not real aggressive. Ryan Moorhead came out, did some work.
You got to mix the aggression with the smart tactical play out here, and you're going to see that. This is Sunday. There's Ryan Moorhead on your screen with that nice run through to get himself a 2-pack. After Chad George dies, that evens up the body count, but then after he got shot, that's why if you have 2 bodies close to each other and they can stay alive, then that's what allowed Malloy to be able to secondary in there after this move from Moorhead. Here comes Moorhead. He gets one. He gets that crossfield shot to get himself a quick 2-pack, and then after that, Malloy had come up in here, but Malloy just overextending a little bit. Malloy likes to get creative, but didn't have all those angles marked out. And then here comes Fedorov. He comes through, gets a shot on Karslev, who had got a shot on Mishka. And that made it a 2-on-1, forcing the concession. All right, jumping into this first point here between a stacked up and hungry Revo, who has made Sunday at every event. They are undefeated here so far in Chicago.
It looks like 5-on-5. Ref going in to check somebody out real quick. A big bite on the move all the way down the field, getting to the 50 snake. Kyle Spica of the Ironmen. 5-on-5, Matty.
Chris, we love what we've been seeing out of Kyle Spica the past 2 events. The Ironmen stumbled early on in the season as they have been revamping and rebuilding their team, but they are definitely rebuilt and have a chance if they can get through Revo to win this tournament and get into the finals for the very first time in a long time.
Tom Martinez is doing a good job with these guys. I was watching a practice out at SC Village last week, and he's a really good coach, man.
Well, he's a good player scout, too.
Yeah.
It's not just his coaching ability and how fired up he gets and how much he makes these guys care and stay dedicated to the craft, but also he's the guy behind the scenes talking to other players saying, hey, you look really good in an Ironman jersey. Let's, give me a call. Let's try to work things out. And that's how this team got built.
Yeah, and he did a fantastic job, and they're starting to come into their own. You know, they got stellar players. Oh, Revo losing one player on the snake side, Maddie. So that's going to put them in. Oh, another player going down the far side.
Chris, and it looks like, I think that's Falatico taking the walk here. It might be Zaleski. And that is, it's going to be tough here for Revo. Just 3 players left alive. They have not shot a body. This puts the Ironmen in a good spot. And the duo of Trevor Reeser and Kyle Spica are now locked up in that structure here on the snake side of the field there on your screen. Also a move being made by Damian Ryan, but Greg Sewers catches one. I got a chance during the lunch break, Chris, to talk to Greg, and he's like, man, the level change over, or the gear change on the D side, I mean, the struggle is real. You're in first gear, you go straight to 5th gear, have to kick it back to first. He's like, and you're just down, dodging bounce shots the whole time.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of bounce shots over there.
Definitely a lot of bounce shots from what I've been hearing on the D side. Not so much here on the snake side, as this is just more heads-up paintball over here. But those D side players have to get pretty crafty.
Oh, absolutely. There's like a ping pong table over there. You know, but Kyle Spica has the ball right now. Him and Trevor Reeser. The only thing that they're getting contested by is the back center. They can actually get over there and you know, get on their side of the field, and he'll have back shots and here and there. So I look for Kyle Spica to kind of go up to their wedge here pretty soon.
Well, it is 3-on-4, so the Ironmen do have an advantage, but with that Sewers death, they have to be very careful here not to throw another body away. So it was Falatico to take the early walk. Zaleski is still alive at that stand-up can. Looks like he's in there with Henry Sense and Painter. And they are, but look how tight Revo is locked in their spots, and that is because the Ironmen own the important spots of the field. Looking for Damien to eventually try to push up on that D side as Spica is getting looked at. Got to be careful when he wraps around here from the center 50, or from this 50 here in the snake, worried about that back spot in the middle of the field. Another one of these long tactical points, gunfight points here, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Bobby Avila's commanding the troops in the background there. Look for him to go to the corner as well. He likes that corner spot. Kind of spread the field a little bit. Kyle Spica looking for what he's going to do. He might go inside. Yep, there he goes. And that's not a bad spot either. You can wrap on the back center from that spot, Matt.
Yeah, we've seen with so many options to push forward from these front spots, guys are getting creative over here. That's why it's tough to keep the count, to figure out how many bodies are alive out here. Bobby Avilas is doing a great job of communicating and yelling to Trevor, Damien, Kyle. And Revo is still locked in those 3 spots, just tightened up in that cross here on the right-hand side of your screen. Kyle Spica now past the 50-yard line. Still waiting for Damien to slowly but surely make his way up the field. And with all the time to work with here, he doesn't need to risk anything and have to get through a lane. But he is able to push into that 50. Here goes Revo. Revo makes a move. As soon as Damien goes and drops that lane, then Revo tries to get through a lane, but then he gets taken out. I'm not sure. I think that might have been Bobby coast to coast in this back corner bunker, or if Damien quickly wrapped around and caught him in his first engagement. Still, though, puts the Ironman in a 4-on-2 situation, Chris.
Yeah, I look for Kyle Spica. He's probably going to go through the middle at this point and kind of edge out, especially with, oh, there goes Zaletsky getting shot on the barrel. Great shot by Kyle Spica. And there goes Corey Field for the last play of the game. Great point. Like we talked about, nice, slow, controlled point. Get that first point. I wouldn't say knock the dust off because they've been out here playing all morning, but just get that first point and take a breath.
The Ironmen are doing a real good job of winning the close points. They're playing very tight, great communication across the field, and I think this is just because they've now had some time together to get some practices in, and most importantly, hang out on off the field too. That off the field bond is very important. I think that's why Impact and Heat have been so successful. I mean, yes, they have money to go and get players, and we're looking at Kyle Spica on the screen, but it's just the amount of time that the Ironmen have started to get on the field, and there's Kyle Spica getting that last kill. But that off-the-field bond is really important too, Chris. Again, with Impact and Heat, those guys definitely have the luxury to get paychecks, but it's not just that, it's the leadership of that team, knowing that that off-the-field bond is important, so giving them moments to grow as friends and to trust each other. We will see Houston Heat here play the Russians right now in this next point as Houston Heat has a 1-point lead.
5-on-5 breakout. You got Russians on your left, and you have Houston Heat on your right. Ryan Moorhead making the move up, getting real aggressive, but getting shot across the field, Matty.
I think, and they also, looks like they're losing Fedorov too, so a tough break here for Houston Heat. They lose their attackers on both sides, and I think Moorhead might have got caught going a little bit too high on that beam of the snake, or he might have caught one before he got in.
There's this crack. There's like a little crack between the bunkers over there. I think he might have gotten shot through there.
The Russians now with 5 strong. Here comes the aggressive push by Malloy. Here on the snake side, he's past the 50-yard line. He wraps around, he gets that shot on Mishka, so making pretty quick work so far. 3 deaths for Houston Heat. And now Smotroff is going to lock up with Malloy and try to pinch out Sam Monville. Here comes Chad George. He's going to run through. He gets the shot and the drop on Malloy. No one has touched Chad. Here comes Chad. He's going to get around. Oh my God, this. Chad George is ridiculous. Chad George gets himself a 2-pack. Nobody has shot Chad George yet. And here comes Chad George streaking to the back corner bunker. He stumbles and falls and finally gets picked up. But Chris throws his pen down is so highly impressed by Chad George. I'm about to write that highlight down. My God, Chad George is insane. He pulled off a 1-on-4 at this event. He just went through the entire line and pulled it to a 1-on-1. Actually, 2-on-1. Sorry, he got 3 kills on that move. But unfortunately, though, Chad left it all out there, not able to, Kirill saved that one. Kirill saved that move right there.
Absolutely. What a move. Chad George just going to work. Unbelievable.
That's one of the best moves of the tournament right there.
I agree, 100%.
And it is a little bit of a sad story, though, for Heat, as it didn't work out for them to get the point. But nice work by Kirill Peridny. Kirill Peridny he's playing straight up. Chad's going down here and just murdering the Russians, and you could see that, oh my God, I can't believe there's a guy on our side of the field reaction, and then he just whips his gun up and gets the shot. So let's look at this here. Chad George goes in, gets a drop on Malloy, stays low, stays alive. He hears Smotroff's gun. He comes around, bam, gets him on his first engagement here, left-handed. Hears it from the other angle, and then gives him a couple more. Comes through, still alive, untouched. Look at it from this backside here. Comes up, already got Malloy, comes and stitches up Smotroff. Welcome to the league, kid, and then pass him. And the Russians are lucky that Kirill, the veteran, had his head on a swivel, because here's Chad George still running and gunning. He was able to get that 3rd kill, but Kirill picked him up.
Great move. Next up on your screen, Revo on the Ironmen. It is 1-0 in favor of the Ironmen. 10:48 left in the game. You know when a ref's running at you that fast, it's never good.
Yeah, referee is checking out. Looks like he's clean.
Looks like Greg Sewers going down for the Ironman. Kyle Spick up in the snake, Matty.
Yeah, Greg Sewers. That's 2 points in a row. And Greg's died early, so Greg's going to need to tighten it up a little bit over there. Rebel with the 1-body advantage, but Ironman with the 1-point advantage. And look, Josh Pike, that's 2 points in a row for Pike, too. So the ones on the D side are starting to get isolated here by these teams, and I think that's just because Greg Sewers and Josh Pike have been so successful in the prelims. So when you get a chance to shoot those guys, you want to make it count. Now Kyle Spica here, 50-yard line on the snake side of the field, as Falatico is able to get in here, and he's going to run around, stitch up Spica. I think he might have caught one, and he did, but Dan Zaleski is still alive. Bobby Avilas, he gets shot out of his spot, and now Dan Zaleski looking like he's going to tie this one up here, Chris.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just one more guy left alive for the Ironman. I think that's Damian Ryan. Yep, he takes the shot. Damian Ryan taking the walk. That is going to do it for the Ironman. So it's going to tie up here 1-1. There'll be about 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. But great point by Revo.
Yeah, good comeback point here. As, well, what's going on over here? Is there still a body left alive for the Ironman that we don't see?
No, there's nobody alive. They're just taking their time.
Well, this is that type of layout. Point going to be conceded by the Ironman, and we've seen just bodies drop from all over the place, which makes it hard then to count those dead bodies walking off. Also, because there are so many different spots that you can get to, it's just tough to keep that count.
No, absolutely. You know, like we talked about with the Chad George thing, things can go from really good to really bad real quick on this field, especially on this side of the field with the move like that. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize on it, but you know, we still got a game here, and that's exactly what we would be expecting out of these teams.
20 seconds.
20 seconds to go before the start of the next point. Heat and the Russians. If Heat wins this tournament, then they will take over Edmonton Impact's spot at the top of professional paintball and be the #1 ranked team by 2 points. That's
close.
2 points overall, which out of, I think, 600-something points that, can't remember, I don't have it written down right in front of me, but they were telling me before the outset of this game. But Heat has to get through the Russians first. It's tied 1-1, 9 minutes and 13 seconds to go. And 5-on-5, good break for both squads. Moorhead staying alive here on the snake side and getting some forward progression. I think that, yeah, unfortunately for Heat, though, they lose Fedorov, and they're going to get a minor penalty on Chad George. Just 2 players alive in this disastrous start to this point for Houston Heat. Initially, it was 5-on-5, but then Fedorov gets shot trying to get out wide. Chad gets shot, he gets a penalty, and that pulls out Sam.
So 5-on-2 situation. So, you know, on this field, 5-on-2 is terrible, terrible situation to be in. So on the other side of the field, you see on the far side of your screen, Russians taking the Ironman's Dorito.
Oh, but Ryan Moorhead eats up Smotroff. And now he's going to move up, and he gets diced up, though, trying to dive in by Golev. And Tal's going to get thrown as Mishka gets run down by Karslev. So the Russians taking a lead now. Let's get a look at the prizes here for the MyFanWagon.com Fantasy Paintball. First place, Vanquish GT in the VIP. SP Shocker, Smart Parts Shocker here for second place. EVS Goggle Systems for third, and that season prize, the Lux Ice. It's one of the best guns in the world. Hopefully you got your picks in for the Sunday Club, as you can now play Fantasy Paintball on Sunday. And you're going to win the undisclosed, unannounced, brand new, unnamed gun from GI Sports. I still don't know what it looks like. Keep getting trolled from our our booth graphics department. As they've been, whoa, look at that. Ironman almost get a bad start with Sewers.
So did Revo.
He's able to tag up, though. Stays alive. And Kyle Spica aggressively pushing here. If he wraps around, he's going to be able to get a shot. He's shooting his gun, though, so he's about to get run down. And they trade out. But Kyle Spica gets a shot in on O'Mara, and Pike comes off again. That's 3 games in a row, 3 points in a row where Pike has got shot off the side, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-on-2 right now. 3 bodies walking off for Revo. So they're in a bad spot right now. 8:53 left in this game. So do you think the Ironmen are going to sit here and kind of run some time off? Do you think they want to run the points up?
Well, they do have a 2-body advantage, but they don't have a lead. So first things first, make sure you win the point. And if you can win this point and burn some time off the clock, then that would be ideal. And there goes, I don't think they're going to, I mean, that's just another kill right there for the Ironmen. And there's not a lot of bodies left alive, Chris.
Yeah,
Revo,
no,
so
it's only 1. I think it's 3-on-1, maybe 4-on-1. So yeah, they're in a bad spot. Yeah, and they don't have to rush it, though. You know, I've seen people rush it, and then, you know, they're in a, oh, there he goes. That's gonna be Curtains. I think that's Painter.
Yeah, Eddie Painter, last player left alive for Revo in that one. So with 8 minutes and probably around 8-ish left, Ironmen are gonna go up by 1. Good job by Greg Sewers, though. Almost got a little bit of a bad start, but he tagged up, he stayed alive, and now the Ironmen have a 1-point lead. 2 close games here, Chris.
Yeah, man. Like we said, just like we talked about before the game. Look at this replay. Oh, he almost starts off. Whoop! Get back. That was Revo's start. The same thing happened on their side of the field. And this is the trade out we have with Kyle Spica. You know, but like you said, if he'd have looked just a second earlier, he'd have blasted him, going, you know, catching him crawling.
Yeah. So both teams getting a little bit of a bad jump to start at that point, but the Ironmen get the better of Revo, and it is 3 points in a row that they have shot Josh Pike from that D side. That is something that Revo needs to address, because Pike was one of their big killers and a big part of their offense on that D side of the field.
Like we talked about, this is a back and forth game. We knew it was going to go this way. So Russians on your left, Houston Heat on your right. A bad start by Houston Heat.
It's a bad start, yeah. Were you looking at the Russians when they started? I was looking at Heat.
Russians took off at the right time. So Heat did not. They got about a second late.
And it cost them Chad George, so best player for Houston Heat this year is off the field. And after that amazing move that he had, he drew the penalty and now dies early. So Chad's going to have to tighten it up a little bit. And now Ryan Moorhead at the 50-yard line here, gunning up against Smotroff.
You know, this is a good spot to be in for both teams. I mean, I think, you know, unfortunately Ryan is not going to be stuck looking that way, because eventually he's going to come. I expect him to back up.
You're looking at the battle developing here on the snake side. Here comes Malloy. Malloy's going to run the inside route. Stops at the wedge, though. You can't see Moorhead from this angle, but he's still in there alive. And he is down as low as possible with his gun up, waiting for somebody to come run him down. He has nobody behind him, though. They have to watch over Moorhead, because as it stands now, and then look at that, though, throwing the pod, trying to trick Moorhead into coming through. He doesn't take the bait, though. So now Moorhead's going to check off on the inside, but he's got to be careful in that inside lane, because Malloy is posted up. They have to watch over Moorhead. And they lose another body on that D side, so it's not looking good for Heat here in this point. They have yet to shoot anybody, and they're now down to 3. 7 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Moorhead getting a lot of pressure over here on the snake side, but able to live through it so far. Dizon was the player. No, is that Fedorov or Dizon? That is Dizon walking off, and here comes the move from Malloy. Comes and stitches up the back of Ryan Moorhead. And then Ryan Smith is going to concede the point. The coach for Houston Heat doing a good job this year with those guys, but unfortunately Houston Heat kind of stumbling a little bit right here.
Yeah, and here's the replay on that. Look at the breakout.
Yeah, a real slow break for Chad. That cost him his step, and that cost him his body. And then look at this as Malloy tries the trick, throw the pod trick on Ryan Moorhead. Moorhead does not bite, so Malloy forced to just run Ryan down. But a couple bodies that already dropped for Houston Heat. I mean, Ryan did all he could do. Ryan was playing great in there, and there's, you know, they lose Dizon over there. They lose Chad because he gets a bad start and loses the step. So Chad gonna have to tighten it up a little bit.
10 seconds.
Yeah, he was in a bad spot there by himself, unfortunately,
so now
losing Chad George.
Houston Heat down by two of the Russians who have been trying to rebuild their squad. I mean, it is rebuilt, and they did win an event last year, but have yet to win one here in 2018.
Damian Ryan taking the walk in the break for the Ironmen, so down one player already, 5 alive for Revo. Getting in the snake, better field position right now. Greg Sears taking up Damian's spot. Trying to get up the field in the center.
Look at this, though. So Kyle Spica, I'm not sure what happened. I just looked over. I was looking at Revo, and I look over and I see Kyle Spica on the ground getting shot. I think he tripped trying to get out of that insert bunker.
When I got O'Mara for Revo getting in the mix down there in the snake, looking for the crossfield shot. But Bobby Avila's making that fill out to that corner again, Maddie.
You can call me Bobby if you want.
Bobby.
So Ironman with, you can see the top killers here for this game. Kyle Spica, 3 confirmed for him. Tied up with Dan Zaleski. Damian Ryan with 2. Greg Sewers now with 2. And Stephen O'Mara with 1. See if Bobby can hold off the attack. Revo, maybe get a kill here. Revo looking good. Controlling this 50. And up a couple bodies here on the Ironman.
Yeah, Bobby Avila's holding it down on this side. You know, as long as he's in the field, I'm never too concerned. But it's really hard. You got the duo up here, O'Mara and Zaleski, in that snake.
Bobby had one of the best plays of the tournament in the prelims to help save a point, getting a 3-pack coming through. So yeah, and he's been stellar for the Ironman here at this event. One of the reasons that they're playing in this semifinal matchup. And they have a 1-point lead on Revo still, 6 minutes and 32 seconds. But Revo with this 2-body advantage, trying to do something with it.
You know, slow controlled play, Matt.
Yeah,
you know?
Revo's looking good right now. I mean, they've made some progression up on the D side. They have time to work with. No reason to run into guns yet. They're doing everything right so far here in this point. Revo's just looked, I wouldn't say flawless, but their record is flawless. Yep. They have not lost a game yet here at this event. And outstanding in the prelims. And when we look at their kill counts across the board, everyone's getting kills on that team. It's not just 1 or 2 players carrying the weight for everybody else. That's for the rest of the league. That's what's scary about Revo right now. And there goes, as Greg Sewers gets shot out of his spot. So now just 2 players left alive. Revo still yet to lose a body. And here comes a move by Bobby. He's going to have to roll the dice because he's down bodies and he gets that kill but trades out. And now it's just Trevor Reeser in the back center bunker. And smartly, Todd Martinez is going to concede the point, and that is going to tie things up, Chris.
Yeah, you know, like I said, is exactly what I expected. You know, good battle of attrition between both teams. Kyle Spica getting caught in the open right there didn't help the situation, but Bobby Avila's has at least, you know, made the corner. But it's going to continue to go back and forth. Let's see what Houston Heat has to answer for this last games against the Russians. They got to come back. They're down by 2 points, Matt, right at the point.
Yeah, this is the moment right here for Houston Heat. On your screen, there's Mishka Kiesnev, Sam Monville, Chad George, and I'm guessing Ryan Moorhead, who's walking out to join the starting line with Konstantin Fedorov. But this is the moment right here for Houston Heat. Also, this match is brought to you by Empire Paintball and the Vanquish GT. You can see the colorways there: Lead, Raider, Acid, Desert Fire, featuring the all-new V16 drivetrain with direct inject technology. Go to empirepaintball.com. Here we go. 5-on-5.
Big breakout right here by the Russians.
Semifinals, and neither team dropping a body. Houston Heat down by 2. Chad George again coming off early and shaking his head. What is going on with Chad George right now? One of the most consistent guys in the league. 3 points in a row now. Struggling after that insane move that he had.
Absolutely. Well, they're trying to shut him down. I mean, obviously you want to shut him down. Russian getting shot down the field. Ryan Moorhead getting shot from the snake guy. Now, the only thing left in here is the snake corner, Maddie.
Yeah, it's Sam Monville. I think he might have got a shot. No.
No.
Just thought he was calling a hit on Smotroff, but he did not shoot Smotroff. Smotroff is now going to coast into the 50, not feeling very much pressure. Needs to worry about that angle cross field, but dodges that ball getting in. And here comes Konstantin Fedorov now pushing up on the D side. Fedorov just back from that ankle injury. Still 3 players left alive for Houston Heat. This is kind of playing into Legion's favor here as they have a 2-point lead and the numerical superiority, so they can just burn some of this clock off, Chris. And now they're going to get a shot on Konstantin Fedorov. He dodges that one.
That was close.
Well, with Heat's deficit here, point-wise and body-wise, they can only let this go so long before Ryan Smith's going to have to concede the point, regardless of how many guys they have left alive.
Absolutely.
Because they need more than one. So not quite yet, though. Still 5:30 to go. And there was Konstantin Fedorov on your screen.
You know, good field position. Konstantin Fedorov trying to make that move up the field, but he could get shot right here.
Smotroff tries to create here on the snake side. Gets a couple feet up past the 50 looking for an angle and then retreats back to the 50.
Fedorov looking for something to do up the middle. He wants to get to that brick, but man, it's gonna be rough. Malloy is shutting down that side. You can see Malloy right there shutting down that brick move, Maddie. On the right side of your screen, there's a big gap there for Konstantin Fedorov to get through.
Well, yeah, Malloy is at the Aztec and he's shutting down the D side. Kirill is at the wedge and he's shutting down this snake side. And there goes another body for Houston Heat as Miska is going to have to take the walk, and I would probably blow that horn right now. It's the 2-on-5.
Well, I think Fedorov has to make a move. If he dies, cool, blow the horn. If he doesn't die, he might be able to get up there and make something happen.
Fedorov just got a shot on Malloy, but it's not going to matter because then Fedorov gets shot right now. So this is what I was talking about. So yeah, lots of expletives coming out of the mouths of Houston Heat right now as they're feeling the frustration, going down by 3 to a real strong Moscow Russian Legion. Wow, the Russians are the real deal right now, Chris.
Yeah, they're playing great, man. They're playing. That was a very aggressive breakout too. So it's not like they're playing on the back of their heels. They're coming up with some pretty strategic game plans for these teams. They shut down. They're shutting down Chad George and Ryan Moorhead. They came down the field in that big tower in the center with the big tall guy. Just kept on blasting him coming through.
And the big story here is they're shutting down Chad George. I mean, let's look at this break here as you see Chad George try to get into Snake 1 off the break, and he looks like he gets in there clean, and then Chad George is going to crawl up and get taken out right there.
That's that gut right after that last snake to that wedge. That's where they're getting him at. There's a nice little gap there. So.
And he could have stayed at Snake 2 and stayed alive, but they need points. So I understand his aggression. However, that's 3 points in a row that Chad George has been shut down, and he got a penalty in one of them. So 5 minutes and 28 seconds to go in this tie ball game right now. The Ironmen taking on Revo. And the Revo first to drop a body. Here comes, look at this, how quick Greg Sewers up into that 50. So this is what I talked to Greg during the lunch break. He's like, Maddie, the shifting gears on the D side is the real deal, man. We're going from 1st to 5th over there constantly. So this time choosing 5th gear, Chris, as the Ironmen are at both of the 50s on the D side and the Snake side. And Trevor Reeser just playing so well as the second attacker with Kyle Spica.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Kyle Spica, Trevor Reeser over here. That's a good combination that you're spotting your screen.
See the match stats here on your screen, the top killers in this game. Omara and Zaleski. Omara up first, Zaleski tied with Spica, and Greg Sewers with 2, Damian Ryan with 2. All tied at 2. Time ticking off this clock though, 4:40 to go. Ironmen control the ground. That means they're dictating the pace of this game. Bobby Avilas gets out wide here, Snake side, behind Spica and Reeser.
You know, but also Revo is in a good position right now to kind of shut down any moves. If they stay in their lanes, they will maintain what they're doing, and I think, you know, they'll make it a lot harder for Kyle Spica to cross that gap and for Greg Sears to get across that gap as well. But, you know, when people turn their heads, that's when new moves getting made. And then you lose 1-2 people real quick.
Well, Revo with 4 bodies alive, getting beat to the punch on the aggression, and that means they are stuck in these back bunkers, which is not the best way to try to win points. This is an aggressive field. You can make those moves forward, and the Ironmen making the most of this field layout. But Revo, as we talked about, they are undefeated at this event. They have not lost a game here at the Chicago Open. Ironmen trying to utilize this field advantage, and now here comes Greg Sewers taking a bite past the 50-yard line on the D side. Greg Sewers stays in there tight, staying alive. And that is going to make these guys hunker down. So this is going to be good because if Spica can get up here, well, good for the Ironman, not good for Revo. Because if Spica can get past the 50-yard line, he's going to start getting backs because everyone's looking at Greg right now. Greg has 1, 2, 3 guns looking at him, just one gun looking Kyle Spica's way. And with 3 bodies on this side and only 2 bodies towards that D side, Kyle Spica and Trevor Reeser have the ball right now.
Absolutely.
Damien Ryan's locking up on the 50 now too, Chris.
Yeah, you know Kyle Spica will recognize that. He'll see the gap. Losing the back center, Painter going out for Revo. That's going to definitely open the door for Kyle Spica. Well, the back right corner is now gone, and that's going to have to be a towel for Revo on that point. Taking it to a 3-2 game, going to the Ironmen, Matty. That was well played by the Ironmen.
The Ironmen look legit. They really do. The Ironmen were my dark horse pick. If they could get out of the bracket of death, and they now have a 1-point lead on Revo. But they cannot sleep on Revo. Baltimore Revo, they are also ready to win a tournament.
30 seconds.
They just need to get up the field a little bit here. You're not going to win consistent points just hunkering down in those back bunkers expecting to win gunfights.
No,
now,
absolutely not.
Game's not out of hand yet, though, right? I mean,
No,
it's only 3-2. So if
and
you're a
there's like
Revo
3 minutes
fan out
left.
there, there's still a little bit of time left. Revo it's not dire yet for Baltimore Revo. However,
10 seconds.
it's starting to look pretty dire here for Houston Heat. Houston Heat, this is the point. If they don't win this point, win it quick, this game's going to be over. It's a 3-point spread with 4 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Houston Heat does not want to go down 4 points to Red Legion. Both teams losing a body. It's Ryan Moorhead and it looks like Malloy. So 2 of the aggressors coming off the field right now for these 2 teams. Chad George lives through the break. So if you're a Heat fan, that's good to see. Chad George is up over the top. He's going to run to the highway and get up to Snake 3. Monville gets out behind him. Smotrov made it out for the Russians to the back corner bunker on the Snake side at the outset of this point. So, I mean, there he is on your screen. You can see the back line here for the Russians, trying to preserve this lead and burn this clock off and move on to the finals for the first time this year.
Russians pretty content where they're at right now, and they're a pretty good team about locking it down, too. Another player going down on the far side of the field, Matty.
And that is Nico Hyde, former MVP here. And such an emerging story for Houston Heat. It's become quite the star, but it's a bad death for him in a very clutch situation where Heat needs to prevail to have a chance in this tournament. This is the point right here, Chris.
Absolutely. If they don't win this point, it's going to be over.
Yeah, they're just not going to have enough time, especially if the Russians are able to burn a bunch of this clock off. Chad George is still alive, and anytime Chad George is still alive, they got a chance.
Absolutely.
Chad George pulled a 1-on-4 off in the prelims, and also was able to almost pull a point off here in this game as he had a 3-pack, but since then they've been shutting him down. But now he's still alive. He's going to swab his barrel and try to produce some kills from this 50-yard line on the Snake side.
You know, I didn't think they know he was there until now. Now they definitely know he's there. So look for the wire, the Snake guy to look down the wire here, which he is. Getting in the Snake, trying to match him up, but Chad George making a move inside. That's a good move, Matty.
Yeah, so
Chad George getting shot.
Chad George trying to create. It doesn't work out.
No, I mean I like the move, but that's gonna.
Well,
you can see the gap right there by the Snake.
With the time, Chris,
Yeah.
what choice did he have?
Yeah, he had no choice. You're right.
He didn't have a choice. He had to go for it, and then they just made a good shot on him. So the Russians are just dominating the action here in this match, and I think that's pretty much it, Chris. I don't think that Houston Heat is going to have enough to score 4 points to tie it up.
Not against a team like the Russians. Those guys, they can lock it down with the best of them, and they're very, very disciplined.
And though you can't really lock this field down, so if I was the Russians, I'd keep fighting
hard.
fire with fire. Send Karzlov up that D side, get Malloy up in here, run him to the Russians in the overtime point to get him here when they were taking on X Factor. They sent Malloy inside. He's so small and so fast, and he can get to the wedge, which then allows you to go right into this 50. So you know how it is. If you have one team trying to attack, and you can
Look at the
send guys
gap
up there with them.
You can see the hole in the gap, and that's where he gets shot through, Matty. Through the hole. You can see through that little right hole right there.
Man, that's just a great shot and heads up play
Yep.
by Smotrov. I really like what we're seeing out of Smotrov. Man, Smotrov really starts to be emerging. Chris, the knock against Smotrov, he was all gas pedal all year long. And now he's starting to develop, I think, a little bit more of a complex game. And that's what they need out of him to win tournaments. Right now,
all these players force you to get better,
So this is the point right now. Revo needs this point. 2 minutes and 26 seconds left. Revo lives through the break, and here comes the battle on the Snake side of the field. Kyle Spica, and it looks like Falatico. Can Falatico get it done here? Kyle Spica shooting inside, but Bobby Aviles is watching over Kyle Spica. And Kyle Spica just got
He just
shot
got
by his
shot.
own guys?
No, he got shot across the field.
He got shot across field. That's a kind of a tough death for Kyle Spica. You know, he's in that spot. If he could stay alive a little bit longer, I mean, even if he forces Falatico to come and get him, he knows it too. Because this is the moment that Ironmen could seal the deal and punch their ticket to the finals. So tough death for Spica, but Bobby Aviles is just trying to whittle this clock down here, and that's actually Zaleski. So it's Dan Zaleski, O'Mara behind him, but look at this though, a body dropping, and that's Pike again. Pike is struggling here, Chris, in this match.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be in the rhythm. He is the one that shot Kyle Spica across the field though.
That's true. He did get his kill before he left, so we can't knock him too hard.
Look for Zaleski to make this move, Matt.
Yeah, multiple Zaleski has to. Not quite yet, though, as Greg Sewers is shooting this lane. But O'Mara's going to get up there with him. So it's Zaleski and O'Mara, two of the best attackers for Revo. And they are up here in this 50 structure on the snake side, wrapping around, trying to put pressure. Here comes Zaleski. Does he make it across? He does. Dan Zaleski is in a position to tie this game up right now for Baltimore Revo. Onto the Ironman side of the field here. Everyone on the Ironman's worried about him. Let's see how O'Mara reacts to this. O'Mara inside from Zaleski. Zaleski still in here, but Chris, only a minute to go.
Yeah, but there's a really good bounce shot. I'm watching these bounce shots coming off that wedge, man, and they're so close.
Damian Ryan needs to get tight in that tower. Damian Ryan now fighting for his life, and Damian Ryan gets taken out. And here comes O'Mara and Zaleski. They're also locking up to try to launch from that D side in D2 and D1. And looks, I thought another body was coming off for the Ironmen. The Ironmen are holding strong. Here comes Zaleski. He goes across. He gets shot. Here comes O'Mara. O'Mara takes Zaleski's spot. O'Mara still with an opportunity if he can get a kill here. Only 28 seconds to go. Here comes Painter. Painter launching up on the D side of the field. He's going to try to get to the 50. He does. He gets to the tower. He wraps around. Can O'Mara, Stephen O'Mara, one of the best attackers on this team. He's trying to get a shot on Greg Sewers. Greg Sewers holding tough. There goes a kill. And it's Trevor Reeser out of the back center. So just two bodies left alive for the Ironmen. 10 seconds to go. Painter's going to launch. There goes Painter. And Eddie Painter is going to hit that buzzer and tie it up with just 6 seconds left to go. What an amazing close from Eddie Painter, O'Mara, and Zaleski, and what a heartbreaking point loss for the Los Angeles Ironmen. My God, Revo's legit, Chris.
Well, that was, you know, I called Painter's number a few times. I even walked up to him before this game and said, "Hey, man, you're playing really good, brother, for sure." You know, we watched that kid come up from 187. You know, his father's a fantastic person.
Oh, yeah, Dave Painter's great.
You know, and
speaking
of him right there, it's Dave Painter in front of your screen. But, man, what a point, Matty.
That was a great point.
Very goosebumps.
Yeah, that was a very exciting end to regulation time. There's still a couple seconds left, but most likely we're going to be going to an overtime, so it's all going to come down to the final point. See who's going to move on to the finals to play Russian Legion. Well, it's not over yet, but, I mean, if Houston Heat somehow finds a way to come back, it's going to be the greatest comeback of the year.
Absolutely.
Because they are in a bad spot right now.
Yeah, 5-1, 2:32 left. Look, they're going to go hard at the middle.
No choice. No choice. So here comes the aggressive push from Houston Heat. Konstantin Fedorov in the center looking for it. They lose Nico Hyde on the D side, and here comes Chad George on the delay. He gets to the 50 here, snake side.
You know, they got to make something happen over here. Him and Chad George and Ryan Moorhead got to make it happen. They went heavy on the Dorito side, but it's looking like possibly he got shot far side. Dorito getting taken out. That is Konstantin Fedorov, I believe.
No, Nico Hyde taking the walk. I'm sorry, Ronnie Dizon. So Dizon and Hyde are off. Fedorov is still alive. He's in the center. Just 3 players left alive for Heat, trying to make something happen as we broach the 2-minute mark. No one has come off, though, for Red Legion.
You know, at the end of the day, I mean, even if they just sit there and grind out a minute, they can't. There's no way they can win 4 points in a minute. It's just not feasible.
Yeah, it's just impossible.
So unfortunately, it just does not look like Houston Heat's going to be able to pull this off. Getting a shot on Malloy though, Chad George.
Yeah, I mean they may get this one. Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Chad George just got shot, and now Ryan Moorhead takes a spot. Smotrop trying to hold it down. Refs checking out. I think Karslev over there on the D side. He's clean. No, he's out. And here comes Smotrop. Smotrop dices up Moorhead and then shoots up Fedorov. And so look at this.
That's going to do it.
Fedorov, who is Mishko was the first Russian superstar. Fedorov came right after him, but a potential new emerging superstar just diced up the last 2 players for Houston Heat to seal the deal and take this victory, knock Houston Heat out of the tournament in the quarterfinals. If Houston Heat had won this event, they would have taken the overall lead away from Edmonton Impact by 2 points overall. But that is not going to be the story that we're going to be talking about. The story we're going to be talking about, first of all, is who are the Russians going to be playing in the finals? Because it's going to be the Russians beating Heat. There's a minute left, so we'll see another point for pride for Heat, but Is it going to be Revo? Is it going to be Ironmen? Chris, who do you got in this one?
Man, it's so tough, man. I got to go with my boys, the Ironmen. I got so many good friends in that team. But Revo, they looks like they want it, man. They're fiery right now. They came out hard that last point. They knew what they needed to accomplish, and they did exactly what they needed to.
It's a coin flip. It's going to come down to the break.
Oh, absolutely.
Whoever
100%.
is able to prevail on the break most likely is going to be the team that's going to be playing the Russians in the finals this afternoon.
I'm on the edge of my seat, edge of my cushion.
10 seconds.
So there is Baltimore Revo on your screen. Here we go. Are we going right to overtime? No, we're not. 6 seconds left.
Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get a major. I've seen that happen.
That would be the worst way ever.
Game time finished.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say.
No points. Overtime.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before. People get a major, and then all of a sudden, they lose it because of the swing point. And within 60 seconds, if you get a major, it's time stop, and the point goes to the other team.
Well, there is Todd Martinez, who is looking at his clipboard and trying to draw up a play. But, just basically just trying to figure out where they're going to start. Are we going to go aggressive? Are we going to go conservative? Who's going to go? That's what they need to decide. But it really, though Todd picking that play is important, it's really going to come down to the execution. It always comes down to the execution. Todd can't get out there and joystick these guys down the field. Now, timeout being called. There's Todd pondering the possible play here for Los Angeles Ironmen. Down on the flip side, you're going to have the boys from Revo doing the exact same thing. But like you talked about, Chris, it most likely is going to come down to
the break, like
the
you said.
break.
Yep.
Absolutely. It was funny when you said that you've seen points thrown away at the very end. I was doing the college championships this year, a gig that we've done together many years before.
I was there.
Oh, were you? Yeah, you were there for that. Sorry. So you remember North Carolina State?
I don't remember the game.
Okay,
though.
NC State, they were up by, it was the same exact situation. They were winning by a point. And then there's 5 seconds left. They get a major penalty in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Immediately ties it up. It goes to overtime, and they lose in overtime.
Yeah, no, I think that's the game I was talking about, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could have been it.
Jesus.
So here is the crazy bracket that we saw on Sunday for the 2018 NXL Chicago Open. And thank you guys so much for joining us, as we've been blessed with some amazing paintball. So you could see Thunder taking down Extreme, moving on. They get taken out by the Ironmen. And the Ironmen move on, and that is what we're looking at right now here. Revo taking down Dynasty, and then Houston Heat beaten up and just kind of bullying AC Dallas and shutting them out. And then moving on, but they're going to get taken out by Red Legion. Red Legion got the bye into the quarters. X Factor stomps out Impact in a mercy rule killing, but then they get beat by Red Legion. So it's been a crazy. It's been a crazy day so far. It's been a crazy weekend.
Crazy tournament.
Yeah.
It's been insane, and it's been a fun weekend, especially being up here in the hot spot.
Yeah, man, great to have you up here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, I miss you guys.
Glad you're alive.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. So 50 seconds left in the game. Here comes some blood. There's coming for blood at this point, as would I. So, and this is the point they're going to figure out. This is the point they should have ran in the first place.
Well, we may see more than 1 point, too, unless Houston Heat loses, because then there'll be a mercy rule. Right now, Chad George is looking for it. Here comes Chad. No one's looking at Chad. Chad's going to get 1, 2, and going to pad his kill stats here and get a point for Pride on the board. Point
No,
margin.
gets shot going in. There's still one guy left.
Where is he?
He's in the corner.
Back corner bunker. Cars left. Saves it.
That's going to do it.
I thought Chad was going to get it.
So did I. Well, he got a 3-pack. I mean.
Yeah, definitely padded his kill stats right there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Karslev, one of the young players here emerging for the Russians. They're going to need him in the finals.
I think he just wants to mercy these guys. That's why he's running for the flag.
Game time finished.
Yeah, so it is officially a mercy rule killing here on Houston Heat as the Russians take down one of the favorites. And when you beat the best, that's how you become the best. That's really going to help out their overall rankings, too.
No points.
Ironman Pitts getting pumped up here to come out and play this overtime point to decide who is going to be playing against the Russians.
What a great game by the Russians. They're looking clean right now.
Legion look outstanding. I mean, if you can mercy roll Houston Heat, you're doing something right.
No, absolutely. I mean, and Houston Heat came out. They were looking good. But you know what? Good game plans against good teams, and the execution is a huge deal. So this is the point that I want to see. This is heart thumping. Look at Todd Martinez. He's
Staying hydrated.
Yep, he's such a good coach, man.
Beard looks impeccable.
It does. Coconut oil.
He's got the Bula hat on, just staying out of the sun.
Yeah, the sun is pretty extreme out here today.
Yeah, a lot hotter today
Yeah.
than it was the past couple days.
The weather's been pretty good, though.
Weather's been great.
Comparatively for Chicago, this has been beautiful.
Yeah, and it is officially the first event in 2018 it hasn't rained at.
That's because I came. You're welcome.
Thanks for the good luck, Chris.
You're welcome. I was in Vegas. I guess it did rain there. But, man, what a point. I mean, look at these teams, Maddie. I mean, Ironmen taking on Revo. Revo, what a good success story. You know, I'm happy to see this out of these guys.
Well, this is their
30
second top
seconds.
4, and if they win this point, it'll be their first ever top 2 here in the pro division. We have never seen Baltimore Revo in the finals before. They did take a 4th place at the first event in Vegas, but they are just a couple minutes away from either getting knocked out of this tournament or from moving on to play the Russians. Whoever it is, whether it's Ironmen or Revo, well, they need to have a good team meeting and come with their best game because the Russians just dominated Houston Heat. Here we go, in overtime in the semifinals. Ironmen on your left, Revo on your right, and then again it comes down to the break, and it looks like the Ironmen are going to be able to shoot out Dan Zaleski here on the snake side, and that's one of their top killers. So now the question is, can the Ironmen stay alive and keep this advantage, Chris?
Absolutely. I mean, that was the kill that they wanted, and Kyle Spica stayed alive as well. So here comes a nice move up the middle.
Does Trevor
Diving over.
Reeser make it in clean? And he does.
Yep. Now that's going to make it tough on these guys, especially since they don't have anybody to snake. So look for Revo to either get in the snake or get up in the 50 snake, the wedges, and kind of contest these guys before they get the double trouble up in there.
Another body coming off, and this time it's Henry Sent. So just 3 players left alive on the field right now to fight for Baltimore Revo. And it is O'Mara, Painter, and Pike. Pike on the D side. In that back center, Eddie Painter. And over here on the snake side, Stephen O'Mara.
Ironman looking good, 5-on-3 right now, making that move like I talked about to get up in that wedge. You got to contest them.
Sewers, they can't now. The Ironman can't get sloppy right home. And just as I say that, Kyle Spica gets shot out of his spot. That's 2 bad deaths in a row for Kyle Spica. If they do make it on, he needs to tighten it up over here on the snake side. Now still 4 players left alive, but now this is a much different situation here, Chris. It is now 4-on-3. Revo still has a chance.
And they're not in bad position. I mean, O'Mara, the only thing that's going to hurt them is if O'Mara dies.
And that's just that's an inexcusable death for Kyle Spica right there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And he's been on fire here this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So but it's just kind of...
It's very uncharacteristic of him to go down like that. But O'Mara, he's got the ball in this one for Revo.
Trying to... O'Mara's over here, and he's gunfighting for it, man. O'Mara wants it. He's a competitor. You know, O'Mara is always good for highlights every single event. So can O'Mara summon the spirit again to pull off another highlight reel move and save his team to move on? But looks like Greg Sewers able to get into the 50. Did he get shot?
I think he hurt himself.
He kind of took a digger on his knee right there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, he definitely hurt himself.
Shaking his head a little bit here.
No, he hurt himself for sure, unfortunately.
Oh, man, this is bad news
and
for
he's a specimen.
the Ironman.
He's a well-in-shape person as well. I think he hurt his knee.
Well, he dove in, or kind of dove in. It looked a little weird, and then he put his head down real quick. I thought he got shot. And then he immediately grabbed his knee, and he's definitely looking a little tentative on it right now. There's Greg Sewers on your screen. Okay, it looks like he maybe shaked it up, maybe just a little bit of bruise. So that's a huge kill. Was that a kill from Trevor Reeser?
Yes, it was.
God, Trevor Reeser is on fire right now, man. Trevor Reeser is playing some of the best paintball I have ever seen him play.
I think that's gonna be curtains right now for these guys.
And that's saying something. There goes Trevor with another kill.
Yeah.
Trevor Reeser wants to win a tournament. And here comes Bobby Avilas to drop the hammer on the last body. And it's going to be the Los Angeles Ironmen as their pit erupts. Los Angeles Ironmen. And you can see there. Well, let's see if Greg's limping, man.
He's
I really
not
hope
limping.
Okay, good. He's
a quick healer.
Well, you know, healing like the Wolverine over there. You know, it looked like when he got in, you know, sometimes just a little stinger.
Yeah.
It might have been that. He is kind of shaking his leg out a little bit, though.
Yeah, no, it looked like, just like you said, kind of there's little jolts when you hit those ruts. So, but he looks okay. I mean,
oh, let me see. Come on, Trevor, do it. Do the barrel drag. There it is. The Trevor Reeser barrel drag. He only does it when they win now. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Ironmen. They're getting hyped up in their pits, but they better bring their A game because the Russians put the smackdown on Houston Heat. So the stage is set here at the 2018 NXL Chicago Open. In the final match, it's going to be the Los Angeles Ironmen for the first time this year, first time in a long time. And they're going to be taking on the Russians, also their first time here in the finals. They did win Atlantic City last year. These two teams on a rebuild, definitely rebuilt. So stick with us here. More action coming at you from the Chicago Open. And Matty Marshall with Chris Asoya here on GoSports.com. And we will see you guys in a bit with some divisional final action.